Welcome to the Empowerment Hour, a podcast dedicated to the woman ready to take charge of her life, live in her purpose, and be unapologetically authentic. I am your host, Nancy Ruffin, award-winning author, proud wife, and mother. I am a committed empowerment specialist who is obsessed with seeing women live up to their fullest potential. And as the self-proclaimed Latina Oprah and mompreneur, my goal is to share my secrets on discovering your purpose, living intentionally, chasing your dreams, and how to balance it all. So if you're ready to make a change and start living on purpose, then you're in the right place. Let's get started. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to another week of the Empowerment Hour. Hope you all had a great week, and I hope that you've set some new goals to crush as we begin a new one. It's so important to get yourself mentally prepared for the type of day and week you want to have. And a part of doing that is being intentional with how you're going to spend your time, during the week. So this is something I really want you to get in the habit of doing and focusing on, setting your intentions for your day, setting your intentions for your week. This past week, in fact, I focused a lot on the concept of gratitude and what that means overall, specifically what it means to you, and also how are you practicing gratitude in your lives. So you have to kind of step back from yourself sometimes and allow yourself to really appreciate all that you have, right? Because it's really easy for us to get caught up in those things that we're lacking, those things that we think we're missing in our lives. And then when we do that, we forget all of the other great, wonderful things that we do have in our lives. And so when you start to shift your thinking from that of scarcity to one of abundance, it's like a switch goes on in the universe. And the more you're grateful for the things that you have, the more the universe will reward you with more things. And it will continue giving you those things that your heart desires. But if you're only focused on the things that you're lacking and the things that you don't have, then you're going to continue to live in that space. And so you're never going to see anything more than what your limited mind is focusing on, and that is the scarcity or the things that you're lacking. So one of the things that I did is I created a gratitude journal, and I've been giving it away for free when you subscribe for updates on my website. And the journal is very simplistic. It isn't anything too elaborate because gratitude is not this great elaborate thing. It's very simple. I'm grateful for. I thank God for. I thank the universe for. And it's just acknowledging the blessings that you have. So the book, the gratitude journal, is 30 pages. You can download it. You can print it. And it's basically asking you to do 3 things throughout your day. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to acknowledge what you're grateful for. So you're going to start your day by saying, I am grateful for. And then you're going to list the things that you're grateful for that morning. In addition to that, I also want you to get into the habit of focusing on your goals or focusing on the things you want to do on a particular day. And so the next thing I ask in the journal is for you to identify the things that you want to do that day. So you're going to say, today I commit to do the following. And then you're going to list the things that you're going to do that day. And then the last thing that I ask you to do in the journal is to write down some affirmations for yourself, because affirming who you are is critical to setting the mind frame to put you in a position to believe that the things that you want, the things that you aspire to have and to do and to be are possible. So you affirm, you say, I am great, I am successful, I am committed, I am determined, I am focused. And so you affirm whatever it is you want to affirm for that day, and you walk the entire day in that mindset. And so then when things pop up for you during that day that maybe you weren't prepared for, you kind of take a step back, look at your journal, remind yourself of the things you're grateful for. Right? Remind yourself of the things that you are, what you affirm about yourself, and those things will help you navigate through those challenges, through those roadblocks, through those things that pop up for us that we're not prepared for, we're not expecting. So get into that habit. Go get the journal. It's free. All you have to do is subscribe, put your email address in there. As soon as you do that, you'll get an email asking you to confirm your subscription. And as soon as that second step is done, boom, the journal automatically downloads onto your PC. It's that simple, it's that easy, and it's going to make a huge difference in how you navigate throughout your day. And you'll see that by the end of the week, you would have been more successful, more determined, more focused. Okay, you have to learn to be grateful for all things, even the good, the good as well as the bad things that happen to us. And it's harder to be grateful for the bad things because that requires much more work from us, right? We have to learn to accept that bad thing that we may have not been prepared for. But it's during those bad things, it's during those struggles, it's during those things that we're not prepared for where we grow the most, where we learn the most about ourselves and our ability to kind of push through. So you have to be grateful also for those things and for those lessons that arise out of those things that we may not be prepared for. Gratitude, it brings abundance. The more you're grateful for, the more you're going to attract into your life. The more you focus on the things that you don't have, the more you're going to call more of that scarcity into your life. So you have to learn how to manipulate your mind, retrain your brain to think in more positive, affirming ways. Refocus that mindset of not enough, of scarcity, of lack, into abundance, into believing that everything great is being drawn to you, that you're attracting that by the way that you live your life and how you're acting and the things that you're saying. Like all of that has a huge impact on the direction of your life. And so it is very important that you start thinking about those things. So that's my little spiel on gratitude. This week on this podcast, I really wanted to talk about three things, and they kind of all fall in line with each other. I really want us to focus on self-care, on re-energizing, and learning to get out of your own way. And I think that a lot of times we prevent ourselves from doing things simply by how we approach that thing that we want to do, whether it's through the words that we tell ourselves, whether it's through our actions, whether it's through constantly making excuses. So a lot of that also comes from how we take care of ourselves and how we refuel ourselves when our energy is low and when we've given so much of ourselves to others, to our families, to our jobs, and then we have nothing left to give to ourselves or to our dreams and to our passions. And so I guess one of the first things I really want to talk about is how are you practicing self-care in your life, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly. I want you to think about how you're taking or not taking time solely for yourself to kind of regroup and refocus and really get in line with what you want for yourself and who you want to become and what you want your legacy to be. And I mean, I know that it might sound a lot, but I really want you to bring it down to the micro level and ask yourself, how am I taking care of me? When you're not taking care of your children, when you're not taking care of your partner, when you're not taking care of your household, when you're not taking care of your other responsibilities, what do you do to take care of yourself? Have you carved out time to do the things that you enjoy? Whether it's reading or going out to listen to music or attending a poetry event, how are you making sure that you're investing time into yourself to do the things that you love, that bring you joy, that bring you peace, that bring you happiness? If you're not actively doing these things for your own self-care and your own and your own well-being, I implore you to start doing that now. It is so necessary to give yourself an inkling of what you give to others. And I say that because today I actually practiced some self-care for myself. In the morning I got my hair done. It was great. Me and my hairdresser, we're good friends. And so being there was like hanging out with an old friend, and we were chit-chatting, catching up. And it was nice, just to be by myself, to not be with my kids or my husband. And I had a really long week because my husband was away on business for a week. So I was home alone taking care of these kids, holding down the fort. And so I was exhausted, and I really needed today to kind of get myself back together. And so in the morning I got my hair done. And then in the afternoon, I met up with a friend for brunch. And it was so wonderful to just have adult conversation, to be able to drink my mimosa, to catch up, to listen, to her and all of the wonderful things that she's doing. And it also gave me an opportunity to decompress and to just, talk about some of the things that I've been going through, and to have someone listen to me and validate some of the things that I was saying, and also to remind me how important it is for me to refuel my own tank. And that was what she did for me today. And so I'm truly grateful, for her. And I implore you guys to have people like this in your life. People that not only see you for who you are, but they see the greatness in you. They also see the humanity in you. And they allow you to be normal for just that small amount of time, right? Because when we're navigating through our day-to-day lives and we're handling so much, we become super women. And, so much or so many people depend on us that it's like we don't want to let anybody down. And so we're always on guard. We're always ready to step in, to pitch in, to lend a hand when it's needed. Because as women, this is just what we do. We're nurturers. We want to take care of everything and everybody. And sometimes that it becomes a lot and it becomes overwhelming. So please make sure you're practicing that self-care, that you're giving yourself some of that TLC that you give to others. So make that one of the things you focus on this week, figuring out a way to do that for yourself. And it doesn't have to be an all-day activity. It could be something as simple as just carving out some time to read a book. It could be carving out some time to meditate. It could be carving out some time to watch your favorite TV show. Something that simple, but just something that is just for yourself, that you can do alone without being disturbed. To just be, to be with yourself and have a peace of mind for that set amount of time. So focus on that. Re-energize yourself, because when you allow yourself to take care of yourself, you're refueling that gas tank, right? And if your gas tank is on E, you're not going to have anything to give to anybody. So everyone else is going to suffer, and you're suffering because you're not going to feel happy. You're not going to feel fulfilled. In fact, you're going to probably resent everyone that you're around. You're going to be angry and unhappy, and that's not good for anyone, especially for a woman, for women who are trying or who are doing it all. You want to feel fulfilled. And the way you make sure that that happens is that you're catering to yourself also. Not that you're going to neglect any of your other responsibilities, but you also have to make yourself a priority in your own life. And this is a perfect segue into the main topic of what I really wanted to talk about tonight, and that's how we sabotage our own success, right? It's about learning how to get out of your own way, and how our actions, the things we do, the things we say subconsciously is doing that. Because a lot of times we get in our own way, we don't even realize that we're doing it. One of the primary examples of getting in your own way is the word I can't, saying I can't do something, or I can't do that, or there's no way, or it's impossible. And it just may very well be that it's what you've been taught, right? It's what you've internalized. Maybe it's what you've witnessed for whatever reason. I mean, there were times, when I say, oh, I can't do that, I begin to doubt myself. And the minute you throw that can't in there, you've killed every single dream, aspiration, hope that you could have possibly wanted for yourself. So I want you to start becoming aware of the instances where you're saying I can't, and then take a step back from that. And I want you to jot it down. I want you to write it down. And then I want you to think about why you can't do that thing and really analyze it. And figure out if you can't do it because you don't have the knowledge. You can't do it because you don't have the skill. You can't do it because you're afraid. Identify what is behind the I can't. Because as soon as you can pinpoint where that's coming from, then you can begin to overcome that. So for example, if there's something that you want to do, I don't know, maybe you want to write a book, maybe you want to publish a book, and you say, oh no, I can't write a book. Well, why can't you write a book? Is it because you're not a writer and you've never formally written anything? If that's the case, well, you know what? I have an answer for you. Go take a writing workshop. Go take some writing classes. Write more. That's your solution. If you feel like you can't write because you've never written, then you start writing. If you don't know about format, then invest in classes that will teach you about format. Identify your can'ts, and then analyze the can'ts, and then create a plan and a solution to change that can't to a can. Everything is solvable. Okay, there is no problem that there isn't a solution for. You have to get in the habit and becoming a problem solver for yourself, because I'm sure you can solve problems for others, but you have to take some of that time and invest it in your own self and think about the things that you want to do and why you're not doing them, and then create a plan to help you do the things that you want to do. So stop saying you can't, because you absolutely can. We all can. The question is not that we can't. The question is, what is stopping us? Right? That's really what it is. And as soon as you can identify what it is that's stopping you, you can tackle it. And you can turn that can't into a can. The second thing in relation to sabotaging our success or getting out of our own way is this idea that we don't have time. And this is something that I speak about a lot, because we've become accustomed to saying, oh, I'm so busy and I have this to do and I have the kids to take care of and I have to cook and I have to clean and I have to work and all these other things that seem to take priority over the things that we really want to do. Stop saying you don't have time. The truth is, you do have time. You're just focusing your time on the wrong things. And so the best way to tackle that is to take an inventory of your day and see exactly how you're spending every single minute of your time. And once you identify that, you can start cutting back on those activities that are not adding any value whatsoever to your life. So, for example, if you're on social media for a great percentage of your day, and that activity is not directly related to your work, your business, your brand, anything that is making you money, then you need to stop that. It's not adding any benefit to you. It's not adding any benefit to your family. So that time that you're spending scrolling through Instagram and looking at Facebook posts and commenting, that's all time that can be reallocated to doing the things that you are most passionate about, or those things that you've convinced yourself you don't have the time for. Right? Take an inventory of your day, look at how you're spending your time, and then cut back on the things that are little or no significance to your growth, to your finances. That's how you get back some of your time. Thirdly, stop saying you don't know how. No one that has ever done anything knew how to do it until they did it. And that is a fact. And this is probably one of the reasons why I'm able to do as much as I do, because I don't let not knowing how to do something stop me. And this is what me and my girlfriend were talking about earlier today at brunch. She's the same way. Most of the time when I say I'm going to do something, I have no idea how I'm going to do it. I know I want to do it. I say I'm going to do it. And then once I put it out there, once I figure it out that I want to do it, then the how figures out itself somehow. And whether that is the universe puts people in my life to help me do it, or it's me actively then researching it and teaching myself how to do it. But the fact that I don't know how to do something is not going to stop me from doing what I want to do. When I first decided that I wanted to create an organization that was focused on empowering women and helping them discover their purpose, I had no idea what that looked like, what it was going to be like, how that was going to manifest. All I knew was that I wanted to do something like that. I knew that I wanted to be that conduit to bring women together and help them see the strength and power that I know that they have. And so I put my first event together. And once I said that I wanted to do that, the venue miraculously just appeared through the help of a friend whose friend owned the venue where I ultimately ended up having my first Fierce Women event. I put it out on social media. I created a bullshit flyer by myself. I figured out how to sell tickets on Eventbrite. I put up the link. And you know what happened? That very first event that I did not know how to put together, that I doubted anyone would show, ended up selling out. There was no room to sit, barely to walk. It was standing room only. And that for me affirmed everything that I had conditioned myself to believe. When you don't know how to do something, you do it anyway. The how figures itself out in the process. So stop saying you don't know how. If you don't know how to do something, then you teach yourself. You go out there, you connect with people that do know how to do it or that are doing it and solicit their advice. Okay? You have to be very proactive in the things that you say that you want. And that's how you get out of your own way. You stop saying you can't. You stop saying you don't have time. You stop saying you don't know how. You also need to stop telling your dreams to people who don't have any dreams of their own. You know why? Because these people are not your people. They are not the ones that are going to push you when you're saying you don't know how, when you're saying you can't, when you're saying you don't have time. They're going to feed all that negativity. And they're going to say, yeah, you're right, girl. You can. There's no way you can do that. Hell no, you don't have the time. Look at all this other stuff you're doing. And you don't know how to do that. That's impossible. You know what? Don't even waste your time. When people don't have dreams of their own, they can't see anything else than their normal situation or whatever they're in. So stop selling your dreams to people who are never going to understand your vision. Never. That is one of the greatest dream killers right there. Because if you're already struggling with believing in yourself, if you tell someone that has no dreams, they're just going to feed into what you're already telling yourself. And that's not the kind of people you need. You want people that are going to push you, that are going to force you into discovering your greatness, because you have it in you. We all have it in us. The key is tapping into that so that we can let it out. And those people are not going to be the people to help you get it out of you. So stop telling your dreams to people who have no dreams of their own. And what you need to do is you need to start just doing. Start doing everything. Whatever comes into your mind to do, just start doing it. Don't think about it too much. Don't procrastinate. Don't say tomorrow. Don't say someday. If you want to do something now, just do that thing. Action is everything. Because even if you fail, you haven't lost anything. You've actually gained knowledge, because now you know that way you were doing something is not the way to do it. So now you go figure out another way to get what you want. There's always knowledge. It's just how you choose to see your circumstance. You have to shift your mind. You have to shift your perspective. You have to shift how you think about things. You have to shift how you think about failure and success. You have to understand that failure is a part of success. No one who has ever succeeded has done so without failing first. So remember, when you fail, you're in great company, because all of the greats that have ever accomplished anything amazing in life have failed. I also want you to start getting comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable. Now, that might not make any sense, so I'm going to say it again. Start getting comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable. And the reason I say that is because it's in that discomfort where growth happens, where change happens, right? And growth is neither easy or comfortable. And so if you want to grow as a person, if you want to grow in business, in your career, in your dreams, you have to get comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable. You have to understand that the process of getting to a certain place is going to require things of you that you may not even be aware that you have, that you're capable of. And until you're put in those uncomfortable situations, that's when you're tested. That's when you see how strong you are. So get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Also, this ties back to what I was just saying about not telling your dreams to people who don't have any dreams of their own. I want you to start surrounding yourself with people you admire, people you respect, people who are doing the things that you want to do. And it doesn't necessarily have to be the exact same thing that you're doing, but people who are out there and following their dreams. Those are the people you want to be around. Those are the ones that are going to inspire you. Those are the ones that are going to make you believe that it is possible. They are going to pull the greatness out of you until you see it for yourself. And how they're doing that is because they're going to be the living, breathing example of it. When you see other people following their dreams and you see them succeeding, then you see how very real and possible it is for you. Because there's no one out there that's more special than you are, or less special than you are. We each all have our individual talents, our gifts, our skills. Our job is to discover what those things are and then share them with the world. And once you do that, you are going to discover your purpose. You are going to be living in your purpose. You are going to be fulfilled. You are going to be happy because you're going to be doing what you love, what you're great at. And who doesn't want that? We all want that. We all want to live a happy, fulfilled life. And lastly, you have to start believing in yourself. This is the most important component of any dream, of any idea, of any hope. I mean, you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that it's possible. You have to believe that you are worthy to live your dreams, to be successful. We all are. And, and even if it takes you some time to get there, give yourself that time. Write yourself letters. Write yourself affirmations on Post-its and post it all over, your home, your workplace, where you can see it. Things that are going to remind you that, yes, it's possible. Create a vision board so that you're focused and you stay focused on the things that you say that you want for yourself. This is how you start getting out of your own way. This is how you begin the self-discovery process of who you are, of who you want to become, of what you want your legacy to be. And ultimately, it's how you start living in your purpose. It's how you honor what God created you to be. Okay, you were not designed to live a mediocre, unfulfilling, depressing, sad life. None of us were. However, we choose to live that way. And if you choose to live that way, you can choose to not live that way. And the way you choose not to live that way is by being intentional and taking control of your life, and stop letting life happen to you, and instead create the life that you want. So I hope that these tips were helpful. Thank you for tuning in to yet another week of the Empowerment Hour. I absolutely love connecting with you. Until next time, make sure you connect with me on social media. Send me an email, a DM, and tell your friends. Tell your friends about this amazing podcast. Tune in next week where I will have other great tips for you. And until then, my darlings, have a great, great week.